Hello, it's August 2023. Now, I'm going to begin this video by briefly sharing something personal about myself because it's going to segue into the topics of this video. Now, as some of you already know, I'm dealing with some serious health issues for the past, say, year and a half. Many of these things began years ago, long before the past several years. And I guess just everything is just catching up to me now. And I'm still in the process of getting some tests and imagings and all this other stuff done. I do have some surgery and procedures coming up in the near future. And some of the test results coming back are showing things that weren't there before, we'll just say. So this is my current fight right now, is dealing with all these things. But one of the challenges that I have is getting doctors anywhere to cooperate. And the world has changed over the past several years. And this is what I would like to talk about. How the world has changed. It's even unrecognizable. Now, there's a lot of different subtopics and tangents that can be discussed to further this. But just generally speaking, the world's gone insane. We even see, for example, some countries fighting tyranny from small, fractional subcultures and them being vilified by other countries that are accepting these things. What we're seeing now is really unprecedented to our knowledge, to our known history. And it's just going to get worse. And the biggest message that I've been trying to send to people is just survive. You're not stopping this. You're not going to change anything. Just survive it all. And I've even done recently a couple of videos asking, so this is the civilization, this is the world you want to salvage? And I show a plethora of examples, more than I can count, I can remember anyway, of how this civilization has deteriorated. And it's just going faster and faster and faster. We're spiraling out of control. I've highlighted over the years how we see truther and freedom types not caring about what the truth is, but what they want the truth to be. A lot of people will learn something just a little bit, or they'll hear something, whether it's true or not, that's not the point, and they'll go with it. And give you an example, there was that lady who freaked out on the plane, and for some strange reason, this whole tangent about her, about seeing a reptilian on the plane or whatever, has just went crazy. And nowhere in the audio and video that we can see was this ever even brought up. Now what's strange is she hasn't ever said anything about what she seen or thought she's seen, but I digress. The point is how people just go with a tangent. And now we're hearing, I guess that's the best descriptive, theories about how she had seen robot or something, AI and all this other nonsense. And reading the comments to that video, people are saying, yes, this makes sense, and just going with it. And people are saying they can't believe what the government's doing. In reality, even the person who made the video was speculating, very clear. That's a theory. But people it's mind-numbing how people just simply hear it and they yep, that's it. This is the world we live in. This is the majority of the people, and I've said repeatedly, we are in the late stage of the last stage of civilization, the age of decadence. Again, and we repeat history because history is forgotten either by chance or design. And what always follows is our demise. And there are 100-year patterns within the cycles of civilization. Now, to break this down even more, hard times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Good times create weak people. Weak people create hard times. And this is where we're at right now. We're at nearing the tail end of that. Because when you look around, the majority of the people, they lack critical thinking skills. They lack an extensive knowledge base. And they lack the ability to separate their emotions when making conclusions or even decisions. This is the majority of the people in the world. And how many people are willing to give up, as a descriptive, their freedom, I'm using that loosely, for the perceived comforts that are given. And it reminds me, I was reading a comment about somebody, it was about police brutality, and somebody had mentioned that, about the injustice from these type of events. And there was a comment saying, well, yeah, we'll just get rid of the police and then see how people do. Which doesn't even make sense, because people's rights and abilities to, for example, protect themselves have been stripped away. So over time, people not only lost those abilities, but they forgot how to. We see people calling police, for example, because someone else's dog peed on their lawn, and they just go irate. People have lost the ability to interact, to communicate, to resolve issues. And that ties in with people not knowing each other. And I talked about this in a recent video. People just not getting along. We also see, for example, going back to truther types hearing something. And a lot of truther types, they're blaming, for example, a lot of these fires and everything else that are happening around the world, blaming it on direct energy weapons and everything else. Now, there's two things about that. Fires do happen. Yes, recently we've seen, over the past years, we've seen, as a descriptive, some strange fires. Just leave it at that. But my point here is, one, fires do happen. But two, always giving credit to governments, militaries, and everything else with, for example, direct energy weapons and everything else. And what people don't seem to grasp is that, as a descriptive, these fires that have strange anomalies to them have been happening long before what we would call modern technology, before energy weapons and stuff, going back 100 years. And there's reports of strange fires where the body's not burnt up, but any metal, like coins, watches and stuff, melt. 100 years ago they're talking about this, in the late 1800s, over 100 years ago. I'm doing a segue for a moment. A lot of people haven't really talked much about this. I remember hearing about this a lot when I was younger. What they call spontaneous combustions, where people just incinerate while leaving the chair they're sitting in, material chair, and other things around them untouched. They just seem to incinerate, sometimes leaving part of the leg, say from the knee to the floor, not burnt at all, but the rest just incinerated. These are strange events. Now, what's behind them and everything else, well, I'm not touching that, but I'm simply trying to highlight that a lot of the anomalies we see today have been experienced throughout history. But truther types, they just jump aboard, and you can hear 3 or 4 different the descriptive theories to try to explain something among themselves. They're not even agreeing, but no one's taking the time to step back and really look at the truth. Maybe the truth is too much, I don't know. I'm not sitting here implying what these examples are or are not. I'm just simply highlighting some facts that you can look up. We see a huge division on any topic among any people. The human species has been microfractured, and even within each subspecies of human, known as race, are fractured. Everything is just fractured, and we live in a world today where you say one wrong thing that someone doesn't agree with, they erase everything else. So there's no unity. There's no unity, say, on a bigger topic, because, for example, hey, I might like pineapple on pizza, but that offends someone and you're canceled. Canceled culture. This is the world we live in. No unity. Can this be fixed at this point? Probably not. We can learn a lot from animals. And now people are going, well, we're above it. Really? When you look at animals within their own species and within their own subspecies, you don't see them doing what human beings do to each other. Within subspecies, say, of a species, yes, there might be, some conflict, but nothing to the level of destruction that human beings do to each other because of emotions. A lot of it, there's social conditioning and everything else, but I digress there. We see how parent animals of any species, how they treat their young, their babies, just like people. They discipline them, they play with them, teach them. Lots of videos about that. There was even a video that I'm just going to mention of a dog teaching his pups how to swim. And that's just the most beautiful thing to see. Now, I just want to make something clear. I'm not a love and lighter type and one that's always, I don't even really search out these videos. For some reason, they start to populate here and there, and you end up watching them. But we can learn a lot from animals. We even see different species helping each other in time of need. We see when human beings help an animal in distress, say even a baby, whatever animal it is, and how the mother is very thankful, and when you see the video, their appreciation for that help. It's amazing. We can learn a lot from them. They don't complicate. Yes, they do have their hierarchy and what we might call some sort of small political thing going on, amongst their little packs or whatever, but overall, it's simplicity. And what have human beings done but just complicate the uncomplicated with everything? Not just social structures, but even with pseudosciences, everything. It's just amazing to sit back and just observe everything. And most people just fall into the game, playing their role. It doesn't have to be that way, but a little bit too late at this point. We're beyond the point of no return to fix anything. That's long gone. We've been on this downward spiral for a very long time, and it's speeding up as we're getting close to crashing at the bottom. We see how people have a little bit of information, say about someone. They make uninformed conclusions, which can destroy someone's life. And it's even more dangerous when you have people in various positions of authority doing that, because they have the ability to literally destroy someone's life, even end someone's life. This video is just more of a reflection of thinking about the world we live in. And as I'm dealing with my health issues, I wonder, look at the world. And I'm just going to close off by saying, now, I'm just going to interject something here. By no means am I thinking, why go on, or I'm going to self-harm. That's not even on the table for me. I'm just trying to highlight when you look around, right? And that segues into my final thought here, how a lot of people, even in mainstream news, are talking about how government, Canada, has this assisted termination of someone's life. Now, it does kind of tie into the whole abortion thing, which is murder. But there's no such thing going on. And I've, over the past several years, tried to explain to people, showing them, for example, the Canadian Criminal Code and other related materials, and people just, I don't know, it's just weird because people don't listen. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. They hear something, they go with it, and they build something in their minds that it's real, or anyway, this is the world we live in. There's nothing that we can do except survive without compromising ourselves. And that's key. When it's all over, whoever's left, congratulations. Anyway, things to think about. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, oh, when is it going to get easier? When you die.